Yo, 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 yo. What's good, everyone? What's up, everybody? How we doing? How we doing? Happy Friday for me, wherever you're at. Happy Friday. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. How are you guys? I hope you guys are doing well. Man, what a week, man. I don't know about you, but this world is going crazy. So, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Let's jump right into it. All right. It's been a long day for me. All right. So, today's topic we're going to talk about is something that is obviously near and dear to my heart, but um, I think that it doesn't get talked about a lot and enough on this platform, YouTube. So, we're going to talk about living with a Vietnamese partner, what the power dynamic is when it pertaining to a foreigner and a Vietnamese relationship. Okay, so that's basically what we're gonna go and talk about today. All right, how the relationship is respect, how you keep the respect in the relationship, and I'm gonna give you guys a bunch of reality checks. All right, so I'm gonna bust some myths for you guys, and then make sure you guys answer these questions. Forgive my voice. If you guys don't know, I'm a teacher, so I teach fourth and fifth graders every day, all day. So my voice is shot for the week. All right, so bear with me. I'm getting over sickness as well. A lot of people are sick here right now in Vietnam. So, um, yeah, I don't know if it's the air pollution. I don't know what. That's something you need to worry about when you guys move here. Is you're gonna develop some sort of respiratory issue and just a bunch of mucus in your throat. So I want to stay consistent with you guys every week with this live, but I'm hurting right now, to be honest. So bear with me. I just want to give you a little caveat, but I have a lot to go over. So let's jump into it. So if you don't know who I am, I'm KT. I'm a San Diegan from California. I moved from. I was traveling the world. I left San Diego 8 years ago, and I've been living in Vietnam for 6 years. So I've been living in the north, the south. I live in now, Ho Chi Minh City. So I know Vietnam pretty well from the foreigner's perspective. I'm dating a Vietnamese woman, almost 4 years now. We're engaged to be married, and we will be married this year, all right, in a couple months. So I'm going to take you guys along on that journey as well. And so I'm just here to show you guys what the reality is here in Vietnam when it pertains to expat life on this channel, dating here as well. I've dated a lot of Vietnamese women, so this I'm just giving you my background. So, my fiance and I, Vietnamese woman, like I said, we've been living together for 2 years. This is our second year we're going on. We moved from Hanoi. We were together up in Hanoi. We met in Hanoi. That's our hometown, and we moved down to the south together 2 years ago. So it's been amazing. Okay, let me tell you. Her and I have a 19-year different age difference, but I'm gonna be honest. It's been so nice to be and refreshing to be with someone that is like-minded. Um, I'll say this candidly. I'll say this personally. Um, I wasn't really aligned with now looking back, I wasn't aligned with the women that I messed around with. You know what I mean? That's why they never went to be wifey. You feel me? But um, I never. But getting into this relationship and then being with a Vietnamese woman for the first time, like in a serious Vietnamese relationship with a Vietnamese woman, it's really shown me that you know me being older, you can change. Because they have different perspective as well. And even if you're dating a Vietnamese woman and she's 30 or 40, they're going to still have that different culture, right? when you live with them, it's a completely different perspective, right? So, in this live, excuse me, in this live, I want to break that down for you just a little bit, and tell you what my perspective is living with my fiance, who's Vietnamese and real Vietnamese, and the language barrier, the finances, all that good stuff. So let's jump into it. I got articles for you guys, and yeah, so bear with my voice. I don't normally sound so hoarse, but yeah, like I said, I'm a teacher, so I teach fourth and fifth graders. So let's get into it, man. Bear with me. I have this for you guys, like always. Let me move this out of the way. All right, so let's go like this. So first, we're going to jump into the power in the house. Like, let me define what the power structure is in a Vietnamese home. And here, excuse me, and here because, um, obviously I make more money than my fiance. But when you're coming into a relationship with a Vietnamese, generally you're going to be the one who's going to be the breadwinner in the relationship. All right. So that automatically comes with some sort of power, right? Um, how you balance that is what I'm going to talk about. Okay. Because you can make a lot of money and doesn't mean you're a good person, right? Vietnamese women, what I love about my Vietnamese woman, but what I've seen, the caring ones at least, is that they really want a person who's aligned with their values as well, right? Remember, Vietnam is still a conservative country. No matter what, no matter where you live, it's still going to be a conservative country. So even if you come in here with a lot of money as a foreigner, you're still going to come with a lot of power. They're going to give you a bunch of respect. So in the house, who's in charge, right? So traditionally in Vietnamese families, they are a patriarchal relationship and family household. So it's going to be the man is going to lead everything, right? Mm, depends, right? But but the wife is going to manage the finances. So that's different, right? Traditionally, that's what's been going on. Now, modernizing, it's more of a 50-50 thing, right? But here, the woman still today, 2026, the woman still controls the purse for the most part. All right. In our type of dynamic where it's a foreigner and a Vietnamese dating, the foreigner generally will control the pockets. All right. So um, Vietnamese men generally give their money to their wives because they're more responsible generally. Uh, but again, that causes some friction, when it comes to a Vietnamese and a foreigner relationship. All right. You can do it. You can do it. In my situation, no. I give my lady money, right? I pay all the bills, and I make sure that I take care of everything. Like that's you have to define that when in the dating stage. Like that is very important because going into a relationship with a Vietnamese woman, generally you're going to be the breadwinner, right? You have to own that, be a man and own that, right? Um, Vietnamese women will not date you if it's a 50-50. If we're sharing, if you understand what I mean. All right. If you're sharing, then that to them signals you're not a strong provider. I'm not going to say you're not a strong man, but you're just not a strong provider, and then they won't give you a shot. But if you want a serious relationship and you're serious, you can find that relationship like that here in Vietnam, straight up. If you come here with no bullshit, then you'll definitely be able to snatch up somebody real quick. Okay, um, that's the goal on this channel. Okay, so money equals power. who controls income and spending often controls decisions, right? So in the modern age, in the modern Vietnamese household, that still persists. Whoever makes the most money is the person who's going to control the decisions in the household. Now, if you like myself, I was raised with women. I never had a father in the household, and so growing up, I was the dad. I was the father figure, the man role, and so in my relationship, I ask my woman her opinion about everything because to me, it's important to get a woman's perspective. I don't know about you, but women generally see from my experience, women generally see the whole picture, not necessarily a singular focus like a man would. This is general, okay? I'm not saying you are or anybody, right? I'm just speaking in generality. All right. So emotional leverage also is a big thing because it appears with affection or guilt, and that really is like when I do it like this, that's like a 50-50 thing because you could have all the money in the world in a relationship here, and that emotional leverage it will equal to you. So um you know how it is. I'm not going to go on like women do this and men do that, but women are good at that emotional leverage, right? Because if you're a man and you're taking care of your business and you really want a relationship here, you're going to want to take care of your woman and your household. I mean, you should at least. Okay. Like there's a lot of guys and expats who come here and are not really ready for that, and they just want to, get in those sheets, and you just got to make sure that when you are in a serious relationship, the goal should be build and share your thoughts with each other. Start from day one. Start from day one because me and my fiance have been at this for almost 4 years, right? And remember, there's so much difference between us as individuals, and so you have to understand that the biggest thing I haven't even talked about is the language barrier yet. All right, so that is like the language barrier is the cover, okay, because that's obvious. But the when you get down into this whole the money aspect, um, where do I put my money? Where do I give my money? Yada, yada, yada. The emotional leverage. It's big. It's really big. It matters, right? So how you combat that is just from day one. Make sure that you guys are on the same page um, with your foundations. All right, because believe it or not, Vietnamese women are very nurturing and understanding, and they are very all about the home. All right, they're all about family. The modern Vietnamese girl, like if you go 30, probably 30 and under, they're going to be more 50-50, but they're still at the heart of themselves. They still want a family. They're still family orientated, but a lot of half of them, I'll say, half of them are more like business. They want to earn money because they've just been they don't have money. Most of the youth don't have money, right? And so uh, they're starting to think for themselves and be individuals and understand that there's a different way, right? They see social media. So 30 and under, they're probably going to be um, more, boss babe, go girl type thing. But yeah, you can see, I mean, a lot of them are still at the heart of themselves. They're still nurturing, they're still conservative, um, and so forth. So build. It starts day one. It starts literally at day one. All right. So let me read an article. Let's read an article I got here, and just bear with me here. So who holds the power? So traditional Vietnamese households often follow a patriarchal structure where the husband is seen as the head of the family. Women's decision women's decision making in the family has historically been limited. All right, so let's go to an article. I have it up already. Um, Let me just finish this point. However, many wives manage day-to-day finances. It's common for husbands to hand over uh, a large share of their salary to their wives for budgeting. All right, so in one study, which we're about to find out, they studied Vietnamese husbands and Vietnamese wives, and they surveyed them. I mean, they surveyed them, and it was 71.9% of the households they surveyed said that the husband gave their salary, a large chunk of it, to the wife. So that still happens today. Okay, so let's read that article. Let me pull it up and bear with me here. Let me remove this. Go share my screen with you. All right. Let me make sure you're seeing it. Yeah. Gender roles in family key to improving equality. So it says Vietnam has made many achievements in the Gender Development Index, the Gender Empowerment Index, the Inequality Index, and many gender-related issues in Vietnam are still being improved. However, current gender roles in Vietnamese families are still unequal, which can be detrimental to women. All right. So again, this is going to be generally, I want you to understand how, when you're dating a Vietnamese woman, how they are, how their culture is. Okay. Because it's going to be very important, especially once you're living here. You need to understand a little bit of how they get down when it or how they understand things because you live here, right? And you're dating a Vietnamese woman. So Vietnam, excuse me, Vietnam has made many achievements in gender development, and many gender related issues in Vietnam are still being improved. However, current gender roles in Vietnamese families are still unequal, which can be detrimental to women. This statement was made by Tran Quang Tien, director of Vietnam Women's Academy at the International blah 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 blah. All right, gender roles in the modern family. In context, in the context of international integration and the strong development of science, I'll move on. Uh, the conference is an academic forum for sharing scientific research, discussing issues related to gender roles and implement. Let's get to the. Sorry, it's all the way down here, but I wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit more tech context. Okay. Um, the conference also contributes to promoting cooperation among scientists, yada, yada, yada. It says family. Sorry, guys. Speaking at the event was Duong Kim Anh, deputy director of Vietnam Women's Academy, said family is fundamental cell of cell family is fundamental cell of society, an important environment to form, nurture, and educate human personality. Family preserves and promotes a fine traditional culture as well as creates human resources for the cause of fatherland construction and protection. Over time, the structure and gender relations in the family have changed, but the family has always been an important and indispensable social institution in the socio-economic development of the country. She said, in addition to positive socio-economic impacts in the reform process, Vietnamese families are facing many challenges such as epidemics, climate change, and natural disaster risks, underemployment, domestic and international labor migration. Yeah. So basically, I want you to understand that from this, and sorry it's all over the place, but um, Vietnam still values 100% the family dynamic. Okay. So when you start with a Vietnamese woman and you start down this glorious journey, you need to start with the foundation. I can't really stress how important that is that how you start, you know this, how you start is how you finish. All right. So, and you'll probably hear me say that throughout this live. But what I mean by that is that, and I know most of you probably know what that means, but if you don't, how you start with your partner, meaning if you go 50-50 on everything, then you better go 50-50 for the rest of your life together. If you pay for everything as a man, if you pay for everything, then you need to pay for everything for the rest of your life. All right, there's levels of expectation that are set, and if you don't want to deal with those gender norms, then you need to talk to your partner about it. Like, don't get upset about it. Just talk about it. Communication is huge here. Obviously, one, because the language is English is their second language, or even third language, right? But then you have the culture. Okay, so I can't tell you how important it is to understand a little bit about their culture and how they get down because it's going to be a big shock to you. I promise you, it's going to be a big shock. All right. So I will get to your comments in 1 minute. I see some comments here. All right. So finances as power leverage. In intercultural relationships, financial norms can clash. All right. This is huge. So with there's a big debate, and I'm going to ask you this before I read it, is do you share your finances with your wife or your girlfriend? If you're married out there, let me know in the comment section. Do you give your wife like a stipend or like a little bit of money, or do you give her a monthly allowance? Do you give her a weekly allowance, daily allowance? What do you do out there? Um, or do you just give her as she comes, as she asks? I'm curious. Curious. Let me know in the comment section. Um, because here, when it comes to finances, um, I'll read this and then I'll give you my 2 cents. All right. Finances as power leverage. In intercultural relationships, financial norms can clash. For example, a Vietnamese woman might expect to control the family budget. And that's in line, again, that's in line with um, her norms. Okay. It's weird for us. I know it's weird for me. But I do know Westerners who do in the States. I do know people in the States who give their salary to their wife. I do know that. It's just never been a thing for me. Whereas a Western partner may insist on independent finances. Yeah, that's generally what goes on here. Is that the Western man, he makes a bigger salary. We're used to controlling our money anyways, so uh, yeah, generally we give it. But I do know some Westerners who give their money to their Vietnamese wives. One real case involved a British man in Hanoi who refused to give his Vietnamese wife, full control of the money. Instead, he contributed only part of his salary to a joint fund, and I can read that as well. I have that article here. We'll go over it. This was a shock to his wife, who was used to the Vietnamese husband handing over all of his earnings. The power tussle surfaced when she wanted to use the fund for her grandmother's medical bills, but he objected, prioritizing his personal plans, a holiday, over her family emergency. So that's huge. That's huge because again, you don't understand when you're getting in with a Vietnamese family, you're generally gonna take care of them. Now, let me say something on that because it really varies from Vietnamese woman to Vietnamese woman because, and it really just depends on who her family is because a lot of the modern Vietnamese women, they're not asking the foreign man to take care of their family. It's more of the older generation. Now, if you can help out, then of course they're not gonna they'll appreciate that, and it'll give you a lot of brownie points with the family if you're able to financially help or sweat equity. You know what I mean? It goes a long way here. And especially if they don't speak English, just seeing a foreigner help out, it'll just put a bow on your relationship and the acceptance of your relationship. Okay, because it's just gonna help. Okay, so um, understand that don't scoff. Don't scoff at your Vietnamese woman. It's not worth getting into an argument with. If you guys have a disagreement about how money is being spent, just have a conversation about it. Don't come at her with this is my money type shit. Okay? Because it's just not going to work. And generally, it'll probably be over. You know what I mean? So you have to deal with Vietnamese people aren't used to how we get down and yelling and and hype and all this shit. They're not used to all that shit. So they're used to doing that with themselves. But when it comes to us, there's a level of decorum that we need to have. They see us in that kind of a light, so you have to. We're civilized, right? We're from the civilized world, so we need to act like that. Okay. Um, it they're just used to it. So don't get offended by if she asks to hold your bag. All right, you can just simply tell her no. That's not how I'm accustomed to. I'm willing to give you something, but um, they'll be okay with if you're able to just give them something and take care of the bills, be responsible. You're gonna have a longer relationship. All right. That's not the only thing though. Okay. Emotional leverage. Okay. Now you make all the money. You have the power of the money. Now, as a man, if you ever had a relationship in your life, you know how women can be, and it's not necessarily that Vietnamese women even tell you. It's it's more of like a look, you know. Um, it's more of their body language. Okay, you can when they're upset. Okay, and if they are upset, then you got to defuse the situation. Okay, because again, you're in Vietnam. All right, even if you were in the States, you wouldn't want your woman yelling high water. The thing is, the cool thing about this is living here is that there's that saving face thing. Now it goes against you 90% of the time. Okay. But that little 10% is that if there is a disagreement within your household, generally, they don't want people to know, the neighbors to know outside. So generally, they'll keep things kind of calm. Now, if you have a hothead Vietnamese, then I don't know what to say. You better run, bruh. For real, you better run. All right. So the emotional leverage is big when you have an emotional Vietnamese girl. Okay. If you have even kill um, Vietnamese, generally they're pretty even keel people. But if you have there's a lot of high heads. Okay. And if you have an even kill one who's just chill, then you really scored a good one. All right. Like straight up. Because they all seem to be in Ho Chi Minh City. I ain't gonna lie. Okay. I'll always tell you the girls, in my opinion, that are the best are the ones in the north. Straight up. You heard it here first. Okay. North Vietnamese girls, will say it again. North Vietnamese girls are better. They're the best girls in the country. Straight up. That's just my opinion. Don't come and kill me don't kill me in the comment section, all right? I'm just giving you my opinion. I've dated all around. Okay. So, emotional leverage. Power in the home isn't just about money. Emotional dynamics plays a role as well. In cross-cultural couples, one partner might use emotional pressure to get their way, whether they are intentional or not. Okay. Generally, it's going to be they're not intentional, but they are intentional. You know what I'm saying? Uh, It's like they're just like they don't. e- Every every woman in the world is intentional about their emotional leverage. Tell me I'm wrong. Every woman. Okay? Tell me I'm wrong. But for instance, a Vietnamese partner might invoke duties or falau piety or say like, if you love me, you'll do this for the family, right? I've heard many stories. I'm telling you, you have to pick the right Vietnamese woman. You just have to, man. That's why it's important that you live here. It's important that you put in the time. You get what you know the saying, you get what you pay for, right? You get what you invest in. Okay, and I'm telling you guys, especially with Vietnamese women, if you want to date here, you have to live here. You have to. You have to. Or, and the reason why I say that is because if you really want a serious relationship, then you living 6 months abroad and then coming back is just not going to work out. I mean, sorry to tell you, but it's just not gonna. Unless you have that commitment where you guys have that strong bond back and forth. But you don't know what she's doing when you're away. And when you're away, someone else is playing. So let's be real. All right. So um let's see. So Vietnamese women, I've heard many expat stories say that emotional manipulation happens in their relationships, and so when that happens, then the foreign man he retreats, and then he starts taking away his financial. So it's just like, I can't tell you how many unhealthy relationships here in Ho Chi Minh I've heard about. So just be careful. All right. I've seen a lot of North relationships kind of work out. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot more trash up there too, but just understand that it really depends on where she comes from and what's up here. And I'm talking about emotionally, not smarts. I'm just talking about emotionally. All right. Trust me, you don't want a crazy Vietnamese woman. All right. Let's get into your comments real quick. Bear with me. Let's see. My boy Adam Fente. Adam Fente says, "Hello, watching from Da Nang. What's up, brother? Salute to you, my man. How you doing? All right? How's the weather up there? Is good? Love it, man. Thanks for the comment, bro. Appreciate it. B. Oh, I know who this is. What's up, B? What's happening, my man? B says, "What's happening, my man? Hope you're well. Hope you're well too. Happy New Year to everyone, by the way. Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. B, I hope you're doing all right, my brother. Um, Thanks for the comment, man. My boy, Philippines in full effect says, good evening, KT. What's up, brother? How you doing, my man? Looking forward to seeing you, dog. For real. It's gonna be fun. Thanks for the comment, man. B Rang says, your image has been froze for about 5 minutes plus now, bro. Oh. Am I back? Can you see me now? Let me know in the comments if you guys can see me. I don't know why. That's weird. Okay. So thank you for letting me know. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. I hope I'm back. Okay, now it's good. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. All right. Philippines in full effect says, my wife is an earner, and we basically plan together what direction our money goes, either in the Philippines or in our U.S. bank account. Smart. But of course, I'll cover everything if necessary, for sure. For sure. I mean, that's a luxury, man. I mean, it's nice to be able to have a second income. And if it's a good income, then you guys can really start saving and doing some stuff. That's cool. That's nice. But yeah, man, it sounds like you got it good. I can't wait to meet you, bro. Thanks for the comment, man. Appreciate it. B-Rang says, yeah, emotional abuse is real. Even here in the States, my ex shut down on me, stopped cooking and buying food. Dang. It changed on how I spent on her, etc. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, uh, if a man feels neglected, even just a little bit, you know how we do. We be like, all right, you know, okay. So, yeah, man. I mean, especially in the States, women been lied to about that feminist stuff, and it sucks because our women are gonna be left behind. A lot of them, not all, but a lot are gonna be left behind. But yeah, you know how we are. We're like, okay, on to the next, on to the next. You know what I'm saying? B-Rang, appreciate you, my boy. John, thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Oh, Philly Don, what's up, bro? Salute to you, my boy. Watching from Vietnam, famous District 1. What's up, brother? I hope you're doing well, man. Thanks for watching and tuning in, brother. Appreciate you. Again, forgive my voice. My voice is shot. So, again, I teach. So, yeah. So, I appreciate all the comments. So, yeah, man. I mean, the power structure here, it's, I recommend generally here, it's going to be the man first and then the woman follow. Okay, and then the kids get in line. That's generally how it is. Now, you're different. You're a foreigner, so just come in here with a mindset of you're going to take care of everything, the bills, right, the money aspect, and you're going to be the provider and you're going to lead. If you're going to deal with a Vietnamese woman, you're going to provide for her. Okay, unless she has money and then blah blah blah. That's different. I'm talking about just regular Vietnamese women. They're not going to come with a whole lot, so don't expect a whole lot. Okay. Let me see. Let me start this. Okay. Let me see. Where am I at? Where did I leave off at? All right. So there's this thing called the sponsor dynamic. All right. And so let me explain to you guys what a sponsor dynamic is, and then give you guys some examples. I'll talk you through it. We can talk together, but I guess you kind of understand what. Oh no, we're not there yet. We're on role expectations. Okay. So sorry. Role expectations, chores. We're going to talk money and decision making. Now, this one's a big one. All right. I don't know about you. I don't know how you run your household, but here, how I run my household is I pay all the bills. I take care of that. Okay. My girl is in charge of the house. All right. And then I help out. So I'll do laundry, sweep, I'll do chores. You know what I mean? I'll do dishes. I don't mind doing that. Like I grew up doing that. So to me, it's not a big deal to just help out. You know what I mean? Like for me, um, I'm here hustling to make money for us, right? She cooks. So the cool thing is like if you have a Vietnamese woman and they're generally gonna cook for you, right? They're generally going to take care of the household for you because trust and believe that they don't want to go out there making the money, you know? Like again, if you're getting a Vietnamese woman that you met in Ho Chi Minh City, who's been here, grew up here her whole life, she's probably going to be a little bit more westernized than a Hanoi girl, for example. All right. So the more traditional they are, the more that they're going to expect you to be traditional as well. All right. Don't expect to be going out in the clubs all the night, every night. If you have a Vietnamese woman who wants to go to the club every night, then you know where she stands. You know where you know where to put her. All right. And put her in that category. and then move on. Okay. There's too many good Vietnamese women out here, like straight up, like no bullshit, no cap, whatever the young kids say. There's too many good Vietnamese women out here for you guys that you guys can really get to understand them. And if you do understand them, you're going to be very happy. Like that's the goal of this channel is just to help you guys understand that Vietnamese women, there's millions of them here that are looking for a good date. They're looking for a good date. So the role expectation here is just that. It's whatever you want to dictate for your household. All right. So again, if you talk to your partner, man, okay? But traditionally in Vietnam, the the roles are clearly defined, straight up. So the man goes and makes the money, and then wives are generally expected to do the cooking, the cleaning, and the bringing up the children. All right. So again, the husbands here are the breadwinners, and they handle the external tasks. Okay. So it's like get out of the house. Vietnamese women are like get out of the house and let me do what I got to do. Okay. You need a woman like that. They're good. Doesn't mean that she's delegated to just doing that, but you have to let her be her. Vietnamese women are more feminine, right? Now, I will say the more modern Vietnamese woman is starting to believe the West propaganda about get out there, work, and make money and blah 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 blah. All right. So it really depends on who you mess with. That's why it's important to be here. You have to move here. You have to understand every aspect of give yourself a shot to understand who your partner is. Like do your research. That's research, right? Meet mom and dad, meet brother and sister, meet the cousins, hang out with them, see what their situation is like, see if they're even cool, right? Like it's still old school like that here where they want to meet you. They want to break bread with you. And that's kind of a cool thing. Not kind of. I like it. I actually like that old school way because you're only as good as your handshake. That's where I grew up. I'm an 80s baby. You're only as good as your word. You say I'm going to do something, you say I'm going to be there, like I still believe in that. I still believe in that in 2025. I'm old school like that, man. I was raised that way. It's like, hey, baby, my mom used to be like, baby, you're only as good as your word. So don't say too much. I never knew what that meant until I started growing up and I was like, oh yeah, yeah. And so that's one of my foundations. It's like, don't say something that you can't back up. Don't do something you can't back up. All right. So that's I'm trying to give you guys game, trying to put you on game, put you up on game right now about how a relationship is here in Vietnam. Again, if you let your woman do your thing, do her thing, give her some money and let her take care of the house. Don't think that's weird. Help out. All right. She'll understand that because again, you have to talk about this. All right. Me and my woman talked about it before we moved in and when we moved in and continuously have those conversations about, hey, how we doing? We good? Do you need more help? Do you need anything? Do you need anything? Do you need anything? Do you need anything? And I've opened up to her so that I've allowed her to be free to talk to me about that. That's something different in a Vietnamese relationship. Like you would never talk to your partner, I think, like that. I don't know, but no, they're pretty timid, unless they get upset, right? So, anyways, Yeah, let the roles are clearly defined here. Don't change it. Don't come here using your Western, philosophy. Let it happen, okay? Because it's gonna make your life a lot easier. And they know their country better. They know how they think. They know this place better than you do. Just just support, have a good time, and you're gonna have a good relationship. All right. Um, let's see, where did I leave off at? It says, it's still the norm that Vietnamese husbands do minimal work, housework. A 2018 survey found that only 3% of husbands ever wash dishes. Yeah, that's a big deal here. And a mere 0.5% did it on a regular basis, whereas 20% of men said they never washed a dish at all. 20%. Wow. They said, and though out of those 20%, they said they considered it a woman's work. Okay. It says, on average, women spend 5 hours a day on unpaid housework and childcare, 2 hours more than men do. Yeah. Even highly educated or working women are often expected to fulfill domestic duties. That's that 50-50 thing I'm telling you about that I've been seeing a lot recently with the 30 and under Vietnamese women is that they want to work. They generally don't want to have children. Like, I don't know what's going on with Gen Z, but they don't really want to, do the due diligence. We'll just call it that. They don't want to do the due diligence. It's weird. I don't know. Us millennials need to have more babies, I guess. So again, just the roles need to be clearly defined in the relationship. All right. The money, again, I've talked about this already, but just divide it if you can. If you're the foreigner, generally you're gonna control it. You're gonna control the purse. So just make sure. All right. Let's talk about this sponsor dynamic. All right. Um, it is what you think it is. All right. It definitely is. Is this sponsorship for love or is it for financial support? So this could be a debate. All right. Be in a relationship. I'm trying to pick my words carefully here because you never know who's watching, right? So for love or for financial support. So just make sure that you like the person that you're going to be in a relationship with. Beauty fades, and if you guys are just in it for because she's a Vietnamese woman and she looks good, or because maybe you're a foreigner and she likes that, um, make sure you like the person. Make sure they're a good person. Okay. Love love is going to be there for long term. Okay, you can love someone, but for me, I think that you need to like that person because if you like that person, you're gonna be together longer and you're gonna have a better time, right? Um, a reoccurring theme in cross cultural relationships here in Vietnam is the expat provider dynamic. That's what I mean by sponsor. The expat provider, meaning nearly 90% of interracial marriages in Vietnam involve a Vietnamese bride and a foreign groom. Let me say that again. Nearly 90% of interracial marriages in Vietnam involve a Vietnamese woman and a foreign man. 90%. That's why I'm talking to you men. All right. Trust and believe that for whatever reason, foreign women just don't want Vietnamese men. I don't know what it is. I mean, I know what it is, but I'm just not going to say it. Often, the foreign partner is seen as having deeper pockets. All right. This can create expectations that they will sponsor their Vietnamese partner and their partner's family. All right. Now, luckily for you, Vietnam is doesn't really hold that kind of tradition. Like in China, they have that bride. I forget what it's called. Dowry. It's called a dowry. Vietnam doesn't have a dowry. They don't really believe that, and definitely they don't believe it 30 and under. Now they might believe on it a little bit, maybe 30 and above, but and don't get me wrong, generally it's that's not a thing here. Okay, so if a family is trying to extort you for a dowry here in Vietnam, one, break up with the girl. Two, report them. All right, or just leave. You know, you don't need that. Okay. Again, yes, you're gonna have deeper pockets, but um, doesn't mean you have to spend your money on her all the time. If you have I'll say this: a good Vietnamese woman will save you money. They're not going to be looking for a sponsor because one, they are in it for you, and you're going to know this pretty fast. Vietnamese women don't really like to fake it. They really are. If they're talking to you, and when you live here, you'll pick up on the cues. First, a Vietnamese woman will never talk to you if she's not interested. Generally, now that could be interested in learning the language, um, but generally, if she thinks you're attractive, she's gonna talk to you. Period. Like they're old school like that. Okay, they're not gonna play games, and you're not gonna be guessing. If you're going through like this guessing thing in the beginning stages, that's a huge red flag. All right. If she's looking for a sugar daddy or a sponsor to just hang out with and spend money on, run, run. Seriously, there's too many Vietnamese women here that are elegant, classy, normal, women that just want a good man and that want a good shot at a good life. I can see him every day, man. See him every day. All right. So, expectations and resentment. So, one example: one Vietnamese woman dating a Western man revealed she expected him to spend to send her parents 8 million, which is 330 USD, every month once they moved in together. She also wanted him to cover any emergency expenses for her parents and help her unemployed brother find an easy job. Huh. Again, these are Vietnamese women that you need to run away from. If a Vietnamese woman that you're looking at dating, even sniffs that she wants any kind of dowry or any kind of money or any kind of help for her family, within the first year, run. Run. Seriously. I don't care if it's just $330. Doesn't matter, man. Run. Because later on you're going to thank me, right? Because you will be that sponsor. You will be. Okay? So don't be that sponsor. All right. And then in exchange, she'd quit her job to become so in exchange for him to um, pay her parents $8,330 USD every month, one. Um, and she wanted him to give her cover any emergency expenses for her parents and find her brother a job. In exchange for that, she said she'd quit her job and become a full-time housewife, with him giving her a monthly sum for their own housework. For their own housework. What the fuck? Okay. This is an extreme example, of course, but it illustrates the sponsor expectation. Okay, so that's what I mean is that you're giving her a monthly salary, you're taking care of her family, you're giving her parents money, right? That this ain't Thailand, guys. This ain't Thailand. Okay. Vietnamese women, again, I'm going to say it again. Vietnamese women will generally be with you because they're interested in you. Okay. You don't have to go guessing with Vietnamese women. It's been my experience. They either like you or they're going to fuck off. Straight up. Okay. Um, let's see. Yeah. So just understand that whatever you do in the beginning, I told you I was going to say this more and more and more, but it's so true, man, because consistency is the key to a long-term relationship in any relationship. But specifically here with the Vietnamese woman, it's imperative that you have routines. All right, because that's what they're used to. They're used to routines. Eating at 5 or 6 p.m. Right, dinner. Right, eating breakfast, getting up early, um, um, washing clothes at a certain time, going to bed at the same time every night. Um, Routine, doing stuff every time, same time, same time, same time, same time. Yeah, they do that. So buying grocery at a certain time, they do this kind of stuff. And if that drives you nuts, then then maybe Vietnamese culture ain't for you. But you have to understand is that that's what they're accustomed to, is that they're accustomed to routine. So you better get on their level if you're going to be here. It's good for you. It really is good for you. Some of the things will drive me nuts, but majority of it, it's in good nature. It's really good nature to just have a routine. You know, I'm a Virgo, so I love routines. All right, and so that's why I like Vietnamese people, but I like their crazy and I like their routines and their structure. It's just different, man. It's just different. So what happens after you move in? So you move in. Um, Really, I'm telling you all of this is when you move in, but shifts after moving in, if it's often noted that courtship versus cohabitation can drastically change financial expectations. Now, before me and my fiance, before we moved down to Ho Chi Minh City, she lived at home with her parents and her family. That's normal here. It's normal that during the courtship, you're going to live separately. Okay, so we lived separately. We were dating for years before we moved down here. And so once we moved down here, we got engaged and stuff, and then we moved down here. Um, then that started the cohabitation part of the relationship, right? Just taking a step up, right? Again, it's you have to do it by structure here, right? It's not a written thing, but it's something that you see you see every day how and you talk to people, right? And this is how they do, right? And so yeah, you're gonna have to change a little bit. You're just gonna have to change. So during dating, couples may split bills. I never split bills. um, or the foreigner may just generously pay for dinners and trips. That's what I did. But once cohabitating or married, a foreign spouse might be expected to shoulder larger expenses, rent, big purchases, or even family support. Again, it just depends on the Vietnamese woman. Again, from age 30 and under, you're not going to have to really take care of her family, only if you want to. All right. Now, generally, that's changing. Okay. But right now, Vietnamese people don't make that much money, man. They really just don't make that much money. So if you're looking for a regular girl, she's not gonna make a lot of money. Her family, she's probably gonna come from a not well-to-do family, working class family, middle class family, whatever, right? I'm not saying they're poor. I'm just saying like middle class or whatever, right? And so they're gonna understand. Again, if you have a rich girl and who has her family has money, her mentality is gonna be completely different than just a regular blue collar girl. You know this. You know this from your home country, right? But you're not generally going to be in the same circles as rich girls. They are not around. They're just not around. So generally, when you're coming here and you're looking for a regular Vietnamese girl, you're gonna run into regular Vietnamese girls. So just understand it's important to know off the bat of meeting her, like where is she from? Where is her family from? And you'll hear that a lot here. It's like, where you from? Where you from? Where you from? Like they ask us, where you from? Where you from? Where you from? And the reason why they're asking is because they want to know how big your wallet could be. Just saying, man. So if you say like, "Oh, I'm from South Africa," and understand they don't understand the difference between like South Africa and Africa for the most part. So they're like, "Huh?" And they're like, "Okay, but you're white. How come you're not black?" And then from even I've gotten this just like a month ago was like one of the kids asked me like an older kid asked me like where are you from, teacher? And I said I'm from me, like my, it's like my like my, but you pronounce it me, and that means America. And so I say me, and he's like he looks at me all puzzled like I thought how? And I said, what do you mean? And he said, but only, I thought only white people were in America. And I was like, huh? It kind of took me back for a minute because I was like, huh? Because they associate brown with Africa. So we're automatically from Africa. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's different. Also, there's different dynamics. Okay, I'm not getting into the race thing at all in this live, but the race thing does make a difference as well for her, not for you. For her, you're a foreigner regardless. It makes a difference for her. I'll shortly go into this, and then I'll get off the sponsor expectations. But the race thing, if you're brown, you're generally looked at negatively. We know this. We know this. Um, but if you're white, you're generally looked at better. We know this. Okay. But here, that that's the beginning. That's the start. Like, oh, okay, cool. He's a white guy. Okay, he must have money. He must have this. He must have that, right? Oh, he's a brown guy. I don't know. Let's see what he's about. You know what I mean? He might be a playboy. He might do this. Yeah, whatever, right? This is what they think when they meet you. This is what goes on in their minds. And you're never gonna know this. But I ask Vietnamese women. I ask and I'm not scared to ask the girls I've dated in the past, like, yo, like, so what'd you think of me when you first met me from like either the beginning or whatever? Like, I just talk to girls, man. I'm used to talking to females. So I grew up with women. So if you have sisters, you're going to clean up out here, man. Just got to have a level of emotional intelligence. Just have an emotional intelligence, and you're gonna clean up in here no matter what color you are. Okay. So when you move in, when we moved in, it was seamless, man, because what me and my lady, because when I started from the beginning of our relationship building that communication, like from the pre, because we used to work together, so we actually worked together like directly. So we were able to not be boyfriend and girlfriend and just be coworkers before we were boyfriend and girlfriend. And so we were, it was unique. That was a unique situation. But if you're able to do that and you're able to get to know the person and you're like, oh, you're cool as hell, that's the best scenario. Okay. Really, here. That's the best scenario. Work with them, understand how they are, and then you get to talk to them and there's no pressure. Generally, you don't want to pressure a Vietnamese girl because they'll just freeze on you. And then once they freeze on you, they're gonna ghost you straight up. If you haven't experienced that, you'll see. Less pressure, you'll win more. Okay. When you move in, courtship is the reason why I'm saying this is because how I've started my relationship is how it continues to go today. Me and my woman are like this, like that. And the reason why is because every single day for almost 4 years now, I've put in work, time. We don't argue. We talk about things. We don't have issues. Like, seriously, it's because I put in the work. I've put in the time. I've put in the hours, the minutes, the seconds of caring, nurturing, even when I didn't want to. You know, I was tired. I'm tired all the time because I'm grinding all the time. And if you're a man, you know what I'm talking about, right? The last thing you want to do sometimes is, do the bang bang boom boom. You know what I mean? And there are times where I'm just whipped. You know what I mean? I've had a long ass day, and you got to take care of your woman. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about I'm not. There's a whole aspect to this thing, man. That if you really want to build a relationship, a real one, you have to really take into consideration how you start when you meet the woman. That's the most important time. That's the most important is the first year, the very first 6 months. That's you have to like lock in the first year with a Vietnamese woman. I'm telling you, man. It can be for every woman, but I'm just telling you in particular because Vietnamese women are needy. They're very needy, and their ranges for their need. Okay, if you get a even keel Vietnamese girl who's like, it's cool. I don't need to be around you all the time, and I can do my own thing, but I need you. You know what I mean? Then that's good. That's a good sign. If you have a girl who's just constantly where you at, what you doing, how come you haven't messaged me, blah 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 blah. That's a problem, bruh. That's a problem. Now, I'm gonna be honest, man. I've been saying this throughout the whole live. Communication is the most important aspect here. You have to break it down. Like you have to understand. Like they don't understand complex words. So you have to break it down to a fifth grade level. And I'm not saying demean them. I'm just saying it shows a level of care. And if you've been picking up what I've been dropping off throughout this live, is that Vietnamese women are very sensitive women. They're very sensitive in a very good way and a very bad way as well. Okay. So you have to understand that the type of woman you're dealing with. All right. When a Vietnamese woman loves you, they love you hard as a motherfucker. But when they go after your ass, they go after you hard as a motherfucker. You know what I mean? So how you start is how you gonna finish. All right. So let's jump into our family the family expectation, because again, none of this matters if the family doesn't appreciate you or like you. All right. Now, I'll tell you, I have definitely had, um, I didn't even start. Like, this was 4 years ago. This was way before me and my girl met, started working together. And I lived in Ho Chi Minh City before. But the first one of the, I was just getting out of the gate, literally just getting out of the gates with this girl. And we were dating for like a week, like not even a week. And she told her mom after she came back from a date, we were probably even like day number 5. And she went and told her mom, like, this girl's like 24 at the time. So she's now 28. But she told her mom, like, yeah, I met this guy, blah, 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 blah. So her mom said, like, okay, so tell me about him. She told her, the minute she told her I was brown, her mom was like, nope, end it. End it. And you know what? You know what this chick did? This chick fucking called me and fucking ended it right there. Straight up. So I know the difference between that kind of a Vietnamese mom, like, and she explained everything to me and yada yada yada. But I mean, bawling, and it was only like 5 days. Like, Vietnamese parents will control their daughters, straight up, straight up. If the parent don't like you, it's over, and then that goes for 30 and up. 30 and below, it doesn't matter. They're always gonna be their daughter. So you got to understand that when you have family expectations, it just depends on the Vietnamese female, because if she and what kind of a relationship she has with her family. Okay, again, this isn't Thailand. Okay, marrying the family in Vietnam, when you commit to a partner, you're often also committing to their family. You're 100% committing to their family. My lady's family is amazing people, like, straight up. And I'm not saying that just because she's my partner, but no, no, genuinely, genuinely. From the minute, like, seriously, man, you're going to meet her parents the first month you meet. You start seriously dating. When you make that, like, when you seriously say we're together, that's you're mine. Within 1 month, you'll meet her family, all of them, straight up. If you didn't know, now you know. Okay. So from day one, I met her family probably like a week after we were official. I met them like just at a coffee shop, and I was just passing by. You know what I mean? Like, she had called me and said, my mom, and my dad want to meet you, and my sister and some other family wanted to meet. And I was like, huh? And it caught me off guard because I went like, okay. But I was in the area and I said, okay, whatever. And so I went and met them. And they were having coffee as a family, and they were just out and about and chilling. And so it was cool. Like, they were cool. They were warm. They were accepting instantly, right? They didn't know me, right? But they welcomed me in with open arms. That's not always the case. So just prepare yourself, because if you happen to get into a serious relationship, or you start to catch feelings with a female, a Vietnamese female, then you need to do your due diligence about meeting the family, meeting friends, hanging out, see how she is in different scenarios, and so that you can best judge. Okay, the longer you're here, the better it would be for your relationship. All right, because if you do end up marrying her, you're marrying the family, and they are like this. They're like this. Okay, they're entwined with each other. Okay, you're never gonna break that. Don't ever try. Okay. Now, understand that at the heart of it, her family is going to be, should be 1B after you marry. Until you marry, family 1A, you 1B. Even if you're paying for everything, that's as much respect as you're going to get. Until you actually go down and marry, you are 1B. Accept it. The faster you can accept that, it's all good. You marry, if you don't switch to 1A, then you need to have a conversation with your wife. Okay? Just being honest. Vietnamese women understand, and sometimes they just need a little bit of a reminder like, hey, we married, mm, you know? Again, don't have expectations. Just go into it, communicate first, and communicate constantly, because we all grew up. They grew up somewhere different in a different culture, how to do things differently than we grew up. You know what I'm saying? So give them some grace, all right? Because they're damn sure gonna give you some grace. And if you do have a woman who doesn't give you grace, bounce, bounce. There's millions of them here. Trying to tell you, trying to tell y'all. All right. So again, obligation to parents, that's not really a thing. It's just not a thing here. If you want to be generous, be generous. Okay. But you should not have any issues with that dating a Vietnamese woman. If they're trying to run game on you about giving you some sort of story about, oh, my grandma's sick this or my dog's sick that or blah blah blah, then they're trying to run game on you. All right. If you haven't been with her for over 2 years and she asks you money, run. If she asks you for money in the first year, you already know you gotta go. Okay. Let me see. Generally, let me give you an idea. Generally, obviously, you guys are going to live like me and my partner live, like me and my fiance live. Um, we're gonna live in your own dwelling. You're gonna live in your own house, your own apartment, your own condo, your own whatever, right? But again, they're generally a Vietnamese when Vietnamese get married, they generally move into the Vietnamese man, the groom's house, parents' house. Okay, so remember, they're not like us, right? They're not like us who got kicked out at 18 and was like, go out there and beat somebody. And you're like, but I'm still a kid. You know what I mean? You're like, all right, here, they're like, stay as long as you need. Don't worry. It's all good. People 40 years old still live at home. Girls, women, straight up, women. And so they're used to family. They're used to being around family. If you're not used to being around her family, don't go move in there because you're going to be putting yourself under a microscope. They're just going to watch everything you do, nitpick every little thing you do. So if and once you get into a relationship with a Vietnamese woman, then make sure that you guys have your own space. All right, it's imperative. Okay. Um, Let me see. We don't. Okay, so pressure to marry and have kids. Generally, you're gonna have that. Um, it's not. You're not gonna have to worry about that. It's gonna be her who's gonna have to worry about it because you know after, believe it or not, y'all, after 25, they're leftovers. They're leftover women. Have you ever heard of that? The leftover women? Yeah, that's in Asia in general. And so, can you believe after 25 years old, you are considered old? Like, seriously, man. It's crazy how they think here. It's crazy. I'm like, 25. Damn. Okay. So basically, I got me almost an old lady. For real. My girl's only 23 years old. And she's old. She's basically considered like an auntie. 23. Auntie. The fuck? I'm basically considered grandpa. 42. Considered grandpa. It's crazy, man. And that's just the difference between how they view, age and, you should be married by now. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to worry about the pressure to marry and have kids. Once you get married, um, then they'll probably want you to have some kids, but whatever, it's fine. Basically, how you navigate that pressure is that just open and set boundaries, okay, lovingly, okay. Um, I've heard so many nightmare stories about father-in-laws. I mean, excuse me, mother-in-laws, and father-in-laws as well. And so that's it's. I'm trying to pick my words carefully here, guys. So just bear with me. It's imperative, man. It's just imperative. If you do your due diligence in the beginning of the relationship, then you won't have any issues, man. You know, you can go into your life with her confident. Okay, I know it sounds redundant. I know it sounds trivial, and I know it sounds little, but I just want you guys to understand that the little details matter here. Even if they don't do the details, they notice the details. All right. So just set boundaries with your partner first, because again, she'll protect you from a lot of the Vietnamese stuff that comes, the avalanches that come her way. Talk about her dating a foreigner, gold digger, this, all this. Oh, she probably just, being with him because of this and that and that and this and that. You don't understand how much shit your Vietnamese wife or fiance or girlfriend is going through because of you, dating you. All right. Um, let's get into some red flags and the power imbalance, and we're almost gonna wrap this up here shortly. So thank you for sticking with me. I appreciate it. So avoid a controlling Vietnamese girl, a woman, and make sure you guys aren't controlled. I know. It's easy. It's easy. Oh man, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you guys weren't seeing this. Sorry about that. Okay. So avoid controlling behavior. Um, so the power imbalance can lead to control. Again, um, monitoring, jealousy, and again, financial restrictions. So, newsflash, Vietnamese women are very jealous. If you didn't know, now you know. All right. So, don't get into a relationship if you don't want to, if you're not ready to let go of your girls. You be words. You know what I'm saying? Because I have friends that are girls. My girl's cool with it. Obviously be respectful, yada yada yada, right? But a lot of Vietnamese women are not okay with their man having another Vietnamese woman as friend. So I've heard it countless times, man. Just be careful. Again, if you do your due diligence in the beginning, then you'll understand who you're dating. All right. 1 in 4 Vietnamese women report partner control or coercion. So I'm telling you, Vietnamese women they have this knack for getting their way. Okay. Work with them. All right. Pick a good one, man. I'm telling you, it's important, man. It's really important. It's gonna save you such a headache. Okay. Culture silence often hides emotional abuse. Red flags include isolation and fear. So, if you didn't know, there's Vietnam does have a big problem with domestic violence. All right. So, um, it's not okay, ever okay. It's never okay to be violent in your relationship. Okay? If you go to that level, your relationship is over. Straight up. And to me, Vietnamese women don't play. You know, a woman, if you're abusing your woman, she should leave your ass. Straight up. Straight up. All right. It's a big problem here. Big, big, big problem here. So just saying. Okay. Healthy love is equals mutual respect, mutual trust, respect, and shared freedom. Now, I put freedom in there for a reason because Vietnam is opening up to the world, like at a record pace. So understand that although this place has 100 million people, and you come here and you stay in a small little bucket, a little area of these tourist areas, right? But you don't see the regular, real Vietnamese people and how they really truly act. And so when you spend time here and you get to know your Vietnamese woman, you're gonna understand that she's blossoming. I mean, obviously, if you get her 30 and under, she's blossoming because their countries just opened up 50 years ago. So you have to give them grace, man. You know, they're not like us in the West where we're seasoned. We understand the games that people play, and we don't give nobody any grace back home when it comes to relationships, right? But most of these people, I'm gonna give you guys keep giving you a little nugget. Un, a lot, I'll say this, a higher percentage of virgins still exist here in Vietnam. I'm just saying. And I'm talking about 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, and up virgins. I'm not bullshitting you, man. Seriously. Just saying, man. So, healthy love equals mutual trust, respect, and you share everything. Share everything. And then that equals freedom. I'm just saying, man. You'll understand what that means when you get into the relationship. All right. Let me get into some comments here, man. Sorry, I've been yapping over here. Uh, let's see. Marcus Smith says, "What's up, Marcus? Can't wait to meet you, my brother." Marcus says, "Been in Vietnam since today and already experienced two women with LD relationships, uh, but still want to play here and expect you to know your role and play along for their game." Yeah. What does LD mean? LD relationships. Lowdown? I don't know. Yeah. No, no doubt, no doubt. I can imagine. Let me get that out of the way. Yeah, I can imagine for sure. Let me know what LD means. All right. So appreciate you, Marcus. Hey, and I'm looking forward to seeing you, my boy. Philly Dom says, "KT watching, going out tonight to record." Yeah, man, you stay recording, man, and I see you, brother. I see you on your lives. I just can't catch you live, man. So, I'll be working, bro. But you're doing a great job, man. Keep it up, bro. Thanks, Philly. Appreciate you. At Philly Dom says, "Are Vietnamese women good to marry?" It really depends, man. It's been in my experience that North women are the best women, straight up. That's what local men told me 5 years ago. Until I lived in Hanoi for 3 years. I just moved here. We just moved here almost 2 years ago. Almost 2 years ago. So we're going on now. We're going on like a year and a month actually. No, so we have a long way to go for 2 years, but we've been living here a year and a month, right? Yeah, a year and a month back here. This is my second time living in Ho Chi Minh, and the first time I lived here was a year and a half. So I lived here a year and a half, 2021 to like early 22. So, anyways, yeah, and then I moved up to Hanoi for three. So yeah, man, it's been interesting. But yeah, I would say, are they good to marry? Absolutely, man. It really just depends. Um, Here, Vietnamese women really, it matters because it matters where they're from. Because local men would tell me back in the day that um, there's how their areas are like. Um, for example, how Hanoi people are, there's a stereotype of how they act, and generally, if they're from there, that's how they are, you know, and you'll see it in your everyday life. How people are in the South, they are more free and wild and spend money like willy nilly. You see that, you'll see that in your relationship, right? So it's important that you find out where she's from so that you can kind of gauge and ask people about, like, if you have a Vietnamese friend that speaks English, ask them about, like, hey man, what do you know about this hometown, and what do you know about this? Tell me some information about it. All right. So yeah, they're good, man. The North girls, way to go, man. Philly Dom says, great information. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Much love to you, bro. At Philly Dom says, should you give them your whole check? Hell nah. This is just my opinion, but um, I wouldn't give. I wouldn't even when I marry, like my girl and I, we've talked about this, and I told her from the beginning that I wasn't down for that. And so she in turn said, like, she was like, I would never do that. I would never ask you for all your money. And I'm like, why not? And she said straight up, she's like, I'm not like that, and I said, okay, that's cool. And again, even when we get married, we've already talked about, we're gonna put a joint account and I'm gonna fund that. She's gonna have her money, I'm gonna have mine. She has her money, I have my money, and right now, and I pay for the everything in the house. So that's generally how it's gonna work for international relationships, right? Um, Very few guys, I have Westerners that come here and give the Vietnamese woman all her money. I mean, no offense, but I know a lot of white guys who do that here. They give their money, and then who knows what she does with it. So no, I would never. Thanks, Philly Dom. Appreciate you, man. Let's see. Com Combo Blast says, which part of Vietnam do you live? Ho Chi Minh, Ho Chi Minh City. Yeah, thanks for the comment, man. Appreciate it. At Philippines in Effect says, y'all gonna last. KT, your dynamic is very similar to my wife. Okay. Your dynamic is very similar to my wife and you. My wife and I, we've been together 10 years, married 9. Congrats, bro. Damn. I hope to be like you, bro. You know what I mean? I hope to be like you, man. 10 years, that's big. That's boss status right there, my guy. Good shit, man. Looking forward to meeting you two, man. You sound real bossed up, my guy. So I appreciate that. Much love, man. Much love. Endless Travel says, "What's good? What's up, my brother? How you doing, man? When you coming? When you coming down? When you coming down, brother? When you coming down? Come and see me, man. Get out of that Hanoi trash weather. I hope you're doing good, man. Thanks for the comment, brother. My boy Philippines in full effect says LD is long. Okay, okay, yeah, okay, long distance, yeah. I wouldn't do a long distance relationship. I don't know. I always, like, I preach on this channel. Try not to do a long distance relationship. Like, if you guys have met, If you met, but then you guys like have to be long distance, that's kind of different. But again, you got to put in the work for that to work. You know what I mean? Like if you guys are here a year and then you got to go back to the States or whatever to handle some business, and you're away for 3 months, that should be fine. But I'm saying, like, guys come here within a year, they marry the girl, and then they're off back to the West, and then they wonder why it didn't work out. It's because you didn't get a chance to know her. You know what I'm saying? So kind of weird, but yeah, long distance, I just wouldn't do it. I appreciate you, my brother. I probably long distance, yeah. Okay. Yeah, hey man, I'm 80s, bro. Come on now. Nah. So John, my boy John uh, Bastios. I hope I'm saying that right. Bastios. I tried to bring some real talk, but you delete my comment. What's the point? Who? Who? What do you mean? I don't delete comments, bro. That's probably the YouTube automate. They automatically delete comments if they say that uh, they review something. I don't delete comments, so I don't know. You could write it here. Let me know what you're trying to say. Appreciate it though. Let me know what you're trying to say, brother. You're trying to say some real stuff. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's going against, but I don't. I didn't delete it, brother. I've been talking. But thanks anyways. Mike, what's up, Mike? Mike says, I plan to do more traveling and I hope to make it to Vietnam this year. Yeah, man, a lot of people are coming over to Vietnam. It's kind of crazy, to be honest. And I'm glad to see Vietnam is actually um, finally building up their tourism. I mean, they deserve it, man. These people are great. These are great people. It's not perfect, but um, give Vietnam a shot, man. I mean, this is why this channel exists, is I'm trying to show you guys that this is a real genuine opportunity for the West people, the good ones, to come here and really start a new life. Like really start a new life, have peace. And if you find something, then you can have a wife, you can have kids, you can start over, you can start, you know what I mean? Like it's this whole argument about, not dating Western women is stupid. Um, so what if you decided to leave and go abroad and find someone else? I think that's a good idea. Like if from what I'm seeing abroad, at back home, it's not a good idea, man. So I hope you are able to come to Vietnam, and I hope that you find something that can keep you good company. And I'll just tell you guys, get out of D1, Ho Chi Minh City, get outside of D1, go see real girls. Um, newsflash, the girls in Tao Dien over here, they're looking for money. The Vietnamese, they look good. They look good in Tao Dien, but they're looking for money. Look for a regular girl, guys. I'm telling you, get outside of D1, come into the regular, come into the regular, D3s, go into like D5, go into like D10. I mean, like if you go in those districts, those are like the real girls. And you'll see what I mean, man. So I hope you get here, man. But salute to you, brother. Appreciate you. John says, maybe it was YouTube blocking the comment. I said in Vietnam, a woman came willingly to my hotel and stole my money. When I confronted her, she accused me of forcing myself on her. Yeah. Sorry that happened to you, man. That's bullshit. And I'm sorry that happened to you. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. It happens, man. Yeah, it happens, bro. And sorry about I don't know about the blocking thing. I'm glad you're able to get your comment in here, though. Yeah, man. I mean, Just got to be careful, man. Where was that? Was that in D1, Ho Chi Minh? Was it in Hanoi? Yeah, man, be careful. Be careful. Men. Be careful when you're hanging out, with pros. Um, because even if she wasn't a pro, just be careful, man. I see your comment, Hanoi Old Quarter. So yeah, that's tourist area. They're gonna come and get you, man. See, when I travel, and especially when I first started traveling, um, of course you're gonna hit the tourist areas, but I'm the kind of guy who likes to get outside of the tourist areas and um, and just meet girls at random places, walking on the street, walking in a random coffee shop, right? Just saying hi and just seeing where that goes. I mean, I've been more successful here just saying hi than I anticipated, to be honest. You'd be surprised how easy it is to pick up Vietnamese women. Uh, let's go. John says she wasn't a pro. I met her on Tinder. Okay. Yeah. Um, yeah, I have had very good, um, met very good, elegant girls on Tinder. No, really though, I'm not being facetious. I'm not being, funny. I actually have. FYI, Tinder's fire out here. I don't know. I don't know now, but 4 years ago, black, brown, it didn't fucking matter. If you're a good person, you're good looking, you're decent looking, you'll clean up out here, man. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. Um, you just gotta look. You gotta spend the time. You just got to, man. The funny thing about Vietnam here is that you have to put in the work. There's no half step in here. If you're gonna date with the Vietnamese women, you gotta let them know where you stand off the rip. If you can't tell them, hey, I'm not looking for anything serious, and if you're just trying to get into their pants and you whatever, that game is gonna backfire on you big time. It's gonna backfire on you. John says, seemingly very normal girl worked in a gym nearby. Yeah, man, there's a lot of deception here. This is why I'm saying you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Okay. Vietnamese women are beautiful. They are so fire. Like seriously, they look innocent. I work with them, so I see them every day. A lot of them. I work with hundreds of girls, and so I see them every day, and I'm like, I'm lucky because I at an early age I never got bamboozled with a pretty face. Like for me, I grew up with women, so I would never. I got to see how women truly were, behind all the makeup and behind all the facade that they run, all that game they run, right? And then my sisters, I have three sisters, so they raised me, you know, and so I seen that, I saw that, I don't get bamboozled by the pretty face. A lot of you guys get bamboozled by the pretty face, the nice titties and the ass. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I do too, but I'm like, you know, and especially as I've gotten older, it's like meh, meh. I'm not as ambitious as I once was when it comes to the ladies. You know what I mean? So I'll just say this, gentlemen. Um, Let me get into our controlling behavior, and then I'll just take your comments. And I gotta work in the morning, so on Saturday morning, I know I got a long day tomorrow. So controlling behavior. Um, bear with me here. Actually, I got two more things for you guys. So just control. Don't control. You don't get controlled. All right. Doesn't matter where you're at. Again, like I said, domestic abuse is huge. Is huge here. Just be careful. Okay. If you are dealing with a crazy, move on. Move on. The thing about Vietnamese women and your partner is that if you have an insecure Vietnamese woman, she's going to be clocking you every day. Every day. And I'm not being dramatic. I'm being serious. Like Vietnamese women are, like I said, are very, very jealous. You are theirs, right? Straight up. I don't know, man. Red flag examples. Some real stories illustrate how power imbalance becomes control. One Vietnamese woman shared that her husband forbade her from working and constantly accused her of infidelity whenever she stepped outside. He even insulted her by asking, "Where are you working?" As where are you working? As a prostitute in front of their children. This classic control move, cutting off her independence and shaming her, let her financially and emotionally left her emotionally and financially trapped. This is a big thing, man. This is why a lot more every year Vietnamese women are going to date with foreigners because they've told me Vietnamese women. I asked them, why do you date foreigners? And they say that we're more kind. They like the way we move. Whereas here, when it's a Vietnamese on Vietnamese, they shame each other to death, you know? And like that for shaming is like for us getting kicked in the balls. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying, like, if you have a hothead Vietnamese woman, fucking run, dude, because that's not normal. Yes, Vietnamese people are very passive aggressive, but they also are the complete opposite, and they're very gentle beings as well. So they'll try to diffuse the situation, and if they're not trying to diffuse the situation, then they're fucking crazy. Get up out of there. All right. So another extreme case: a wife described how her overly jealous husband demanded to know her whereabouts at all times and even would hold her hand while sleeping so she wouldn't leave the bed. He hid knives under the mattress and on multiple occasions put a knife to her throat, threatening to kill her if she ever cheated. These these are horrifying extremes, but they started as smaller red flags: jealousy, constant check-ins, not allowing personal space, all justified under the guise of love. All right? Or traditional authority. You got to understand this is the mindset of your future Vietnamese wife. Now, she's coming to you because she's looking for a new way, a more level headed way of being in a relationship. And so, sorry, it's really dry here right now. So she she's coming from this mentality, and it's not up to you to save her. But when you guys are starting to court each other, she wants to be with you because you're changing. She hopes that you'll change her life. And I don't mean in a financial way. I mean in a culturally way, a cultural way, right? She's hoping that you don't yell at her. She's hoping that you'll help her clean up the house, talk nice to her, um, hold her hand, um, keep her company. You'd be surprised how neglected these women are. So I understand why Vietnamese women are very needy and why they need that attention. Okay. It's taken me time to understand it, but now that I do understand I give them grace, and I can move accordingly. And that's why it's imperative that if you're going to date a Vietnamese woman, you need to put in the time here, because it's not just about her and y'all and you. It's about everybody. Okay. And if you can see that dynamic, and if you can see it, then you'll be able to get better and understand it. And then you'll be like, okay, it's cool. That's how they do it. You know what I mean? Don't get resentful. Don't get mad. Don't get angry. Like, why the fuck do you guys do it this way? It's bullshit. It happens, man. It happens. But if you the faster you can understand her, the better your relationship is going to be. Okay, and understand that she comes from the culture that is all about dependence on family, dependence on that structure. So when you're taking her away from that structure, you damn sure better have your own set of structure to where it's welcoming her, or it's never going to work out. All right, trust me. If I wasn't who I am, being the nurturing person that I am, and I wasn't raised around women, it would be much more of a harder sell for her to probably be with me, because um, I wouldn't understand a woman. But because I do understand women and I have that insight, I'm able to move accordingly. And that's how I've done it with my whole life. So just saying, you have sisters, you're emotionally connected, and understand how females work. You're gonna clean up out here. Okay. Understand that their father is everything. Okay, everything. Don't try to change that. Okay. Red flags to watch. Um, extreme jealousy, controlling your finances. Let me say that again. Extreme jealousy, controlling your finances. Okay. If you don't want that, don't have it. It's your finances. Understand that. You're not obligated just because you're with a Vietnamese woman to give her any money. It's out of the kindness of your own heart. If a woman that you find can't appreciate that little bit of appreciation and thoughtfulness, that's what Vietnamese women do. They think like that. They think of like, oh, that's very thoughtful. Like they would never take from you. Like seriously, a good one, a good woman would never take from you. She'd be like, I'm good. I'm okay. Even when you know damn well she ain't got nothing. She don't have nothing. But a good woman will will let you do for her, if that makes sense. She'll let you do for her, which is cool, man. It's refreshing, man. Like I can't even put it into words how refreshing it is for my woman to allow me to be a man and allow me to take care of her. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I grew up with black women and they're independent boss babes, and I grew up with that energy. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to build a relationship, a real one, build a team, man. Build that team mindset from the beginning, not a sponsored dynamic. All right? It's not it's not going to help you out in the long run if you if if she just depends on you for everything. I'm just saying, building that mindset from day one, and I've said this over and over and over in this live, day one, you need to set the foundation. It needs to be it needs not to be from day one. Oh, this is me. It's me, 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 me. From me. From me to you. From me to you. No, it needs to be me and no, us. It needs to be us from day one. See, when I started working with my fiance, she was just my coworker at the time. I didn't even look at her as that, as a fiance or a girlfriend or love interest or any of that stuff. So it took us 8 months of working together, 8.5 months of us not even talking about being in a relationship. Like nothing even a sniff, not even a sniff of like she liked me. And then one day, bam, that's how it happens. That's how it happens. You're never going to know if a Vietnamese likes you, a Vietnamese girl likes you, until she'll let you know. Just saying. So I think it was supernatural of like looking back and how it's evolved up in these last almost 4 years is that um like I put in the work from the beginning, from day one, right? And it's hard to explain it to you guys because there's just been little deposits every single day of messaging, asking her how she's doing, calling her, just putting in that work so that she knows I'm thinking about her, so that she knows that I care, right? Even when I'm dead ass tired, I still do it. Still, because how you start is how you finish, man. It's the best, man, when you're building a team. When you're building a team mindset, like, and what I mean is that from the beginning of my relationship to now, we've we've evolved a lot to where we're like this now, you know, to where we don't have to be on each, on top of each other all the time, to where we live together now, you know, and it's fun, this should be fun. Living together should be fun. It should be easy, right? Making that transition, right? Having the open communication. Make sure you guys check in with each other on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, right? Don't go monthly basis and check in one time. No, you don't. It doesn't have to be an official check in, but again, you live together. So now you need to constantly um, just just kind of prepare yourself. If you see that the rooms need to be swept, sweep them. I'm telling you, it goes a long way here. It goes a long way with helping out, right? Make sure you clarify in the beginning and constantly in your relationship while you live together. Important because clarify your cultural differences, constantly understand each other, constantly build that rapport with her. Constantly. You have to, man. You really do. You need to have those culture talks, right? So that you can understand where she's coming from and so that she can understand where you're coming from. It's important, man. I'm telling you, if you put in the work, you will get rewarded. You're looking at someone who's doing that right now. I put in the work. I know a lot of you guys don't have the time like I did, right? I made effort. You can do the same. If you have a year, 2 years, 3 years, and you do find someone, stick it out, man. Stick it out. The biggest problem for men here, foreign men, is keeping your eye on one. That is our challenge. It's not my challenge. I don't care. I'm I don't really give a damn. But it is someone who doesn't have the mentality like I do, where it's like, I'm not fooled by a pretty face. There's millions of pretty faces out there. For real, man. For real. But yet, if you get fooled by that, you shouldn't be in a relationship. You should just play the field, have a good time, and then if you meet one and you're like, okay, then settle down with her and be good, because you don't want to end up on a Facebook app It's like, hey, are you dating this guy? Are you dating this guy? Oh, are you dating this guy? Because they exist, all right? So make sure you continuously build every single day. I was intentional about building once me and my lady made it official. I was intentional about understanding her, understanding her culture, her family, um, everything I could, and just spending time with her. Man, we used to live 30 minutes apart from each other. I used to live on one part in Hanoi. I used to live on one end, and then she lived on the very, so like example, I lived in the north, she lived in the south, basically, right? So it was about 35 minute drive one way. So, and I worked in the south. So her house was a few minutes away from where we worked. And so it was the constant, what I mean by putting in work, the constant for over 2 years of going, picking her up, dropping her off, going to my house, picking her up, dropping her off, picking her up, dropping her off, picking her up, taking her out to eat. I would be, even when we weren't working, I would go from my house, pick her up. We go on a date and go do our stuff, and then drop her back. Go to my house and then drop her back at her house. You know what I mean? So I'm spending hours on the road, right? Um, and this was like every day, seriously, every single day. So that's what I mean by putting in, you got to put in the dirty work. And it's not sexy, but it builds you and her like this. And I'm reaping the rewards of putting in the work back then for her. So yeah, man, just show her that you're responsible, man. Show her that you got her. Straight up. Long story short, show her show her respect by helping out around the house. Show her respect by, taking care of her. That's your girl. That's your girl. All right. And then, it's got to be said, fuck her good. All right. Take care of business there. You're straight, man. You're straight. You got to take care of business. I didn't mention that, but that is that is like, if financial is 1A, like financial stability, then box is like 1B. All right, so um, and then communication and all that other stuff. Okay, okay. So financial stability is going to be 1A. Box is going to be 1B, and everything else is after that. Let's just keep it a bean, right? All right. So I think that's going to do it, man. I think I've talked long enough. I really do appreciate you guys. Let me see. I got some comments here. Let me see. Did I freeze again? Oh, man. Am I good now? Am I good? Can you see me now? Can you hear me at least? Let's see. Where do I leave off? Okay. Juice 2333 says you are frozen again, bro. Like you were earlier. Okay, sorry about that. My bad, Juice. Appreciate you guys letting me know. My bad. See, weird video still frame while you're talking. Okay, at least you could still hear me. Okay, as compared to Filipinos, I mean. Okay, Juice, thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Book you, what's up, girl? Now tapping in. I'm nearing you, but you are frozen. Yes. Sorry about that. Sorry. I am here now, but you're frozen on my end. Okay. Sorry. Thank you. Okay. Good on audio and video. Okay. Appreciate y'all. All right. So yeah, man. I mean, if you guys, long story short, let me get back into it. You missed my comment, Juice. Where did I miss your comment? Uh, this one, as compared to Filipinos, I mean. Is that what you're talking about, Juice? So yeah. I will say this, man. If you guys are really considering coming to Vietnam, moving, putting in some work, and just you don't know about Vietnamese women, honestly, man, I've put out so many videos about Vietnamese women, how they're dating, how to date them, blah 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 blah. Check my catalog out in my on my channel. I'm gonna continue to talk about this, man. This is again on this channel. I talk about things that you don't really hear about on YouTube. So if you guys are looking for that, subscribe to my channel, man. I mean, it really does help that you guys show up. Like, I really appreciate that, man. You get nothing but the real deal here, man. You guys, I did I did update the relocation guide. It's brand new. I mean, I went through it and just added, the relocation guide went from 2 pages to 43 pages. All right. So I put in some work on that, man. So I hope you guys, I hope you really go download that. I put in a lot of work for that. Check it out. It'll really help you center you, and if you have any questions, there's notes there you can write. There's sections where you can write notes. Download it and use it. I mean, I put in hours, over 10 hours on that thing. So, yeah, man, I'm here for you guys. So tap in with me. You guys need anything? Seriously, look out for a brother. Hit that subscribe button. Set up a consultation with me, man. I charge 50 USD, 30 minutes. I'll walk you through everything, man. I'm not here to charge three full $500. There's nothing you need advice. I got you, man. Just pay for the time. It's all good. All right. Links are all in the description. And yeah, man, let me see what juices. Um, yeah, this comment, right, Juice? Is this what you're talking about? You said, KT, it is my comment immediately before as compared to. Let me see. I missed my comment. Ah, I got this one. I got this one. As compared to Filipinos, I mean, where is it? Frozen? I don't see it unless that's the one you're talking about. KT is my comment immediately before. Okay, yeah. If it is this one, if you're talking about this one as compared to Filipinas, I mean, I don't know what you're talking about, that's probably what we're missing. So if you could resend it, that would be cool, and that way I can talk about it. But yeah, I don't even know as compared to Filipinos. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Help me out. All right. Let's see. Let me get rid of this screen. Now the one here, let me come back to this. So the one juice, the it says this one and then this one. We are viewing a still frame while you're still talking. That's what I see. And if you have a comment, just if you can copy and paste it, put it back in, that'd be cool. But that's all I see. That's the one right here is the one that's above. That's the last thing I see. All right. Jivari, Javari, Javari Israel. What's up, Javari? He says good advice. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, bro. That's what we do here, bro. All right. Yeah, man. I'm a real one out here, bro. Um, yeah, just looking for. I found a good place for us, and other people that could thrive and have a good opportunity. So I'm sharing it with you guys. So yeah, man. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's all real shit, man. It's experience. This channel is about experience. And I just show you guys what the expat life's about. And yeah, man, next is the marriage, man. So stay tuned for that. Javari Israel, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you, brother. Let's see. Okay, real ones. Boogie Yugi says the real ones got your back. Yeah, I know. I know. I know. I know who the ones are. And you are one of them. So much love to you. You don't see the one above it. Okay. Ju says, are Vietnamese girls as domesticated as far as cooking, cleaning, and taking care of the man intimately? Yes. Yeah, definitely. Um, Now, intimately, I will say Vietnamese women are more conservative, but, and again, a lot of them, they don't really have a lot of experience in bed, is what I'm referring to solely right now. So again, you'll probably have a girl who has like less than a body or two, like no joke. If she doesn't mess with foreign men, then she's probably going to be a virgin, one body to maybe three bodies, and that's it, like max. And even the wild ones, they don't really. I mean, they don't really get around. I mean, the really wild extreme ones, the party girls, yeah, they get ran through. But majority of the Vietnamese women, majority, I'm talking about like probably 90% of the women who date foreign men, probably like, I don't know, man. I can't. Probably like 25% of them are virgins that date Vietnamese, that date foreign men. About 25% virgins. Uh, Vietnamese women in general, they're probably going to be lower body count for sure. They definitely clean and they definitely take care of the cooking. Definitely, 100%. It just depends, man. It really depends. Like I said, under 30, they generally are starting to be more progressive, and which that what means like they want to work, they don't want to do a lot of the household chores, they want things to be 50-50 chores wise. So they're trying to get away from that traditional mindset, but again, the older generation won't allow them to fuck that up. Okay, here it's it's not the West. Okay, it's not the West. Okay, so they'll they're not independent. They're just not independent. It's gonna be a while for that. So yes, to answer your question, definitely. Thank you for that. Thank you for the comment. Just appreciate that, bro. And thank you for this comment. Appreciate you, my brother. Javari Israel says, I want to move to Vietnam with my son. Do you have any advice on moving near as a single dad, even though my son is 19 years old, with your thoughts about that? So do it. Do it. I mean, if he's 19 years old, then he's an adult. Shit. Uh, One, you'll, well, it depends on where you want to live. But, and it depends on what your lifestyle is like. So that's huge. That's everything. So if you're looking for a chill beach life, chill retirement, go to Da Nang. If you don't mind the noise in the city, then go to Ho Chi Minh, come to Ho Chi Minh, or go to Hanoi. All right. But if you're looking for chill, go to Da Nang. I would say go try Da Nang, try Hoi An. It's Da Nang, Hoi An. They're connected basically, and then try Na Chang, try Quyen Yun, Queen Yun, Quy space Nhon, Queen Yun, Queen Yun, whatever. I'm just gonna say it that way. But um, my my recommendation would be find out what you want to do first, set up a consultation with me, and I can talk you through it. But um, just for now, do it because there's just a lot of different factors that you need to take into consideration before you actually make that move. So, yeah, let's have a conversation and we can talk about that. But just the short answer, do it, man. For sure. Do it. Thanks for the comment. Appreciate it. Yeah, moving there. Yeah, you should absolutely do it. I mean, it's gonna blow his mind too. Shit, he's 19 years old. You kidding me? If he's single, man, he's gonna have a good time, bro. And if you're single, then you guys can have fun together. You know what I mean? I don't mean like that, but I mean like he could have one, you could have one, and then you guys can go on dates and stuff and have a double date, and it's more affordable here, so you're not gonna get you're not gonna break the bank. Shit, $20, 20 USD, and you're straight for the night. Like honestly, 20 USD and you're good. That would buy you your dinner. That would probably get you, depending on where you shop, where you went and ate, but you could buy dinner and drinks and still have a little bit of money left over for four people. Yeah, that's realistic. So yeah, yeah, you're welcome. Definitely, you're welcome. Thanks for the comment, man. Appreciate it. Boogie Yugi says, get a consultation with him. He will map out your path for both of you guys. He is legit. He helped me a lot because I booked a one-way ticket already. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, I enjoy doing YouTube. I think YouTube is great. But I'm a person, man. Um, I was raised just to be, I'm for the people, man. So, I'm not a gatekeeper when it comes to like information and shit. If you guys need to know something and I'll answer it for you, no problem. A lot of YouTubers don't do that. So, yeah, I charge for my time. Shit, it's worth something. So, maybe I should charge more. I don't know, but I try to give you guys as much like valuable information. But yeah, I want to make a little bit of money too. So, all right, man. So I think that's gonna do it, man. I gotta get up in 5 hours to go to work. So, and that would be 4 a.m. for some of you guys if you guys are, keeping track. But yeah, man, I didn't expect to talk for 2 hours. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys, man. If you guys wanna like that, hit the like button for me, man. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Man, we're about to drop. I'm about to drop the tier video that I told you I was gonna drop. I'm gonna drop that in a couple days, if not a day and a half or so. I just gotta film it and edit it. But other than that, man, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again, man. I'm tired. I'm gonna go and enjoy. Thank you for showing up. Much love to you. Peace.